Alright, what heat fixing does, A, it sticks them to the slide, B, it kills them, and C, it fixes the morphology. That's why it's called heat fixing. Imagine if you had to dissect a raw egg versus dissecting a hard-boiled egg. You get a lot more information by dissecting a hard-boiled egg. So we're fixing their shape by heat fixing. Okay? You're going to be using your staining rack. It's a good idea before you start staining to refill your water bottle. When we had the germicidal 64 instead of the back down, we had a huge problem with people using our disinfectant instead of the water. I don't think it'll be that much of a problem anymore because the back down looks different. It looks like Gatorade. Okay? So let's do our staph first. Is staph gram-positive or gram-negative? Gram-positive. Okay, so this will be gram-positive. So what color should this guy be at the end?
Purple.
Should be pink or purple? Should be purple. Purple, gram-positive. Okay. Now, something I advise you to do, you can do this before you leave or you can do it next time because it's fun and educational, is to get just a blank slide and put it, do we have a paper towel real handy? Thank you. Thanks. Put it on a paper towel. And the stains we're going to use for the gram stain are crystal violet, iodine, alcohol, and safranin. So, crystal violet, put it on the slide, just a drop. It's pretty, it's purple. It's a deep purple, sort of like a stained glass type purple. Watch what happens when I add the iodine. Ooh, we get this gloppy goop. So this gloppy, goopy precipitant forms. Okay? And so that's going to form inside the cell wall of your bacteria, be they gram-positive or gram-negative. Now what we're going to do is use ethanol. Watch what happens when we add ethanol. Ooh, everything goes back into solution. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this gloppy, goopy precipitant inside the cell wall of our bacteria, and then we're going to see what happens when you destain for 10 seconds with alcohol. Okay? With a gram-negative, destaining, it'll strip all of the stain out of your bacteria. With a gram-positive, there's massive quantities of the stain in a gram-positive. 10 seconds won't do it. You need to go around 30 seconds. Okay, so the timing actually is important. So, at this point, and this is where a gram stain used to stop, you would have gram-positive, and they're called gram-positive because they retained the crystal violet iodine complex. They would look purple. And your gram-negative would look clear. Okay? And they decided that's kind of difficult to distinguish. Let's add another stain at the end, safranin, and this is referred to as the counter stain. So our gram-positives will be purple. Our gram-negatives, the purple complex is stripped out, so they stain with the safranin. They'll be pink. Okay? And gram stains are ridiculously easy to do, but you're going to find, you and your lab partner and the person opposite you, you're going to have a lot of steric hindrance issues. And you also only have one water bottle prepared. So, you need to announce your intentions, because nothing is more annoying than to get to the D-stain and your lab partner has run off with the water bottle somewhere else. So, state your intentions. Okay, we heat fix that guy, and we'll add crystal violet. You want to flood where the smear is. You don't need to flood the entire slide, just where the smear is. And we leave the crystal violet on for 1 minute. Okay? Ding! Time flies during our demo. And now we rinse. Matt, what would happen if I rinse too much?
Nothing.
Can't rinse too much. Not possible. So that's why I recommend filling up your water bottle. I recommend rinsing until you see no further color coming off. Matt and Fiona will love love this. Yesterday morning, I did a demo, and I kept going, it doesn't seem to be staining. What's going on? The slide was upside down. So I got to do another demo. Okay, now I'm adding iodine. I'm going to add a little bit more iodine because we've got some water on the slide. And the iodine stays on for a minute, and it's going to form that gloppy precipitant inside the cell wall. It's a demo, so these are need time. Can't rinse too much. Sometimes you'll want to rinse the back of the slide too, but if you do that, be sure you remember which is the back. Next is the destain with the alcohol. Get your water bottle handy. 10 drops, 10 seconds. And it's 11 drops in probably 9 seconds. And rinse, 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 rinse. So this is a gram positive. And so that 10 drops over 10 seconds probably didn't remove everything. And so those guys are purple. In fact, I can see that they're purple. We're going to counterstain anyway. Safranin. Safranin stays on for a minute. So the stains stay on a minute. The alcohol, 10 drops over 10 seconds. You're going to find your staining rack needs staining too, so sometimes it's a good idea to rinse it off. As you could imagine, they have machines that can do this. So, doing a gram stain is very easy. Sort of a clever question. See if Matt remembers. What's the most important step for a gram stain? Every step. See if Fiona remembers. What's the most important step for a gram stain? Good smear. If you've got a good smear, a properly trained chicken could do the gram stain. Any idiot can do a gram stain. But making a smear is kind of hard. You saw it's not that difficult. Take your bibulous paper. It's the construction paper packet. Unfortunately, not good airplane design. Your lens paper looks exactly like the bibulous paper, but it's very light paper. Okay. We want the heavy construction paper. Open it at random, put your slide in, blot it gently. You'll probably have to do that around 3 times. And don't pull the slide out or you'll be squeegeeing your bacteria off. Now when you do this right, you actually get a sneak preview of coming attractions. So if you look at this, hey, it's purplish. Fiona and Matt can both vouch. We'll have people during the staining practical just stressing like crazy, and they're looking through the microscope. I'm not sure if it's gram positive or gram negative. And you're looking at the slide going, it's pink, it's got to be a gram negative. Okay, so let's move that guy to the side. Let's go ahead and do our E. coli, right? E. coli. Has it been heat fixed?
No.
Yeah, I heat fixed this guy. Okay, so this is been heat fixed. Get in the habit of asking yourself that question. Another habit I want you guys to get into, it will save your butt in this class, and it might save a patient's life at some point. Read the labels. So it's very easy to go, oh yeah, I put these in a particular sequence. Crystal violet. Be sure you're adding the appropriate stain. I have this horror of, I did a blood draw last Friday, and they're now probably doing a pregnancy test on it. Okay, man, can you come back in? We need to redo that. No. I'll send Matt. That's nice stuff. That's awesome. So a minute for the crystal violet. Rinse. These guys are now purplish. Iodine for a minute. Rinse. I've always had very small kitchens, so I'm used to moving things as I use them. I also clean up immediately because I don't have space for dirty pots and pans. Alcohol. How long? How many drops?
10.
10 drops. 10 seconds. these guys, wow, all the stain got leached out of them. If they actually are gram-negative. There's me some now. Back. And soprano. And he stays on for a minute. Okay, Matt, you were doing this, and all of a sudden, your significant other shows up at the door, and you get engaged in a long conversation, and you come back in here, and it's been 10 minutes. Are you screwed, or are you going to live to fight another day?
You're fine.
Yeah, it's fine. So if you leave the stains on for too long, like sometimes people will start talking, they'll go, oh no, I've left my Crystal Violet on for 5 minutes. If it has stained, it will have stained. It's not going to uber stain. The one where the timing is critical is that 10 drops over 10 seconds. Here, the timing is absolutely critical. Because if you do maybe 30 seconds, you can leach out a gram-positive. You'll see next week that when you're dealing with antibiotics, when you're dealing with any infection on your patient, if it's a bacterial infection, the first question you want to ask is it gram-positive or gram-negative? That's going to determine which antibiotics will work against it. Some antibiotics work only with gram-positives, others work only with gram-negatives, and then some work with both. Okay. So this guy, wow, is that light? That's an uber light pink. You can just barely make out the pink there. Okay. So this guy, this first one, that's actually pretty good. This would be good for looking at under the microscope. We're not going to do that today. But you would have no trouble whatsoever finding the bacteria. This would be great for determining the gram reaction, but if it's your first time using the microscope, it's going to be hard finding the bacteria. These guys are going to be far and few between. Okay. All right. Fiona, Matt, any words of wisdom or encouragement? No. Okay. All right. You can go run and jump and play or do whatever you want.